She told me at the baseline, yeah, and everything will be fine. Oh, yeah. She told me at the sound of the drums, to set the mood and foundation. She told me at the baseline, yeah, and everything will be fine. Oh, yeah. She told me at the sound of the drums, to set the mood and foundation.
Hey there, sweet souls. How are you? It's your Forest Fair here. Nice to see you again. For today's Pick a Card read, we are going to look at what false beliefs do you have about yourself. Now, take a look at the decks and the stones. So for pile number 1, we have the Clear Quartz. For pile number 2, we have the Lepolite heart. And for pile number 3, we have, I believe it's aquamarine. That's what it is. I almost said adventuring, but it's aquamarine heart. So take a look at the decks. If you choose with stones, take a look at your heart stones, and I will listen to your intuition. I do have to say that. Listen to your intuition, and I will see you in your reading. Hey there, pile number 1. How are you? It's your Forest Fairy here. Nice to see you again. Well, for today's Pick a Card, the question we're looking at is, what false beliefs do I have about myself? What false beliefs does pile number 1 have about themselves? Let's take a look. We're going to put the intention into each deck with the shuffle and see what false beliefs pile number 1 has about themselves. What false beliefs does pile number 1 have about themselves? What false beliefs does pile number 1, oh, that one wanted to come out, have about themselves? Let's do the past. What false beliefs? And I'm going to say, did you have about yourself with this past oracle deck? This is the oracle deck for the past, asking what false beliefs did pile number 1 have about themselves. We'll go to the tarot, which will represent the past. What false beliefs? Oh, did pile number 1 have about themselves? There's still a lot of humidity here, the 100-acre woods, and so these cards are sticking. Look at that. Stopped. The bridge has just stopped. So there might have been a few false beliefs that you had in the past about yourself. What false beliefs do pile number 1 have about themselves? Let's see if I can fit this in here. There we go. All right. Now to the present oracle, and what presently or currently, what false beliefs does pile number 1 have about themselves? I see that one right there. These are the false beliefs that you currently have about yourself, pile number 1. Let's take a look. What false beliefs does pile number 1 have about themselves? This deck wants to talk right there. What false beliefs does pile number 1 currently have about themselves. Because we are going to debunk, if that's the proper word, these false beliefs that you have about yourself, pile number one. We're going to look into the programming. Oh, we'll do the oracle for the future. What false beliefs does pile number one have about themselves? Let's take a look. And finally, with the final tarot deck, what false beliefs does pile number one have? I'm going to do another one of this one. What false beliefs does pile number one have about themselves? Oh, I see this one. What false beliefs does pile number one have about, no, let's do the top one, themselves. There we go. Let's take a look. First card out, the little question. Agonizing delays. Okay, that's very interesting. Agonizing delays. As this little snail is depicting in this illustration, you might feel as if you're not moving forward, as if nothing is manifesting, your manifestations are not coming true. Let's say your job is not moving forward, you're not getting the promotions or pay raises that you not only expect but deserve, and it's agonizing, the delays. Now, let's take a look at the cosmic deck of initiation and just see what the overall energy is universal spirituality. Interesting. And I'm hearing universal, like what we imagine as time, it's a man-made thing. We have created this linear time. And with the universal spirituality, let's just take a look. Universal spirituality right here. You are more aware of the intensity of the spirit within. Okay. Spiritual concepts come to the fore of reality. Greater focus on the spiritual gives greater perception within reality. The spirit within seeks greater manifestation in reality. A new level of spirit comes into consciousness. The spirit opens the heart to greater intensity. So, what I'm picking up, but this is just the overall energy, let's take a look at your totem. And the totem is, your totem animal is pig. Diligence, generosity, kindness, nativity, or naivety, determination, devotion, responsibility, helpfulness, good-natured, and subjectivity. So from these cards, just opening up the overall energy is that you are becoming, pile number one, more aware of your soul, of your spirituality, of your spirit, of the Holy Spirit, really. And that's your soul. And with that awareness, there might be some of you that think, how could I not know? How could I not see? How could I not feel? If you have a closed heart and you're more logical, if you use your intellect, your mind, and you have a closed heart, this is where your soul, I mean, there are arguments that say the soul resides in the mind. I can see that. But it's your thoughts that then influence your emotions, and your emotions then influence your actions. There is something I read. Hold on. I'm pretty sure it's in this book. which I thought was absolutely beautiful. And what is it? Or is it this one? Yes, it's this one. Okay, I'm going to read this to you. Pile number 1. Be careful of your thoughts, for they become your words. Be careful of your words, for they become your actions. Be careful of your actions, for they become your habits. Be careful of your habits, for they become your character. Be careful of your character, for your character becomes your destiny. And the author of that is unknown. That is not only wise words, but beautiful, because it's so very true. So when I say you're in your head, pile number 1, the false, I guess, there's false narratives that we all sort of buy into based on our culture, where we're born, who we're born to, our society, our community, our education systems, wherever we, and of course our number 1 influences for us, older generation, I'm an Xer, Gen X, were our parents, right? With Xers, it was almost the beginning of, because we had 2 parents working, where our influences were our friends, our neighbors, our classmates. And this is where your false beliefs were born. So with the Universal Spirituality card coming out, you could be discovering that you are more than this body in this lifetime. That your soul is infinite. Your spirit goes from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime. And for some of us, from galaxy to galaxy to galaxy. Now, in the past, the false beliefs we had, spirit of gratitude. Again, we got another spirit card. The spirit of gratitude. 43. Let's take a look at this creator, contributor, co-creator, I guess. In prayer, we connect directly to our higher power. It is a way for us to be in communication with the divine. A reminder that our lives are a sacred conversation we are continuously engaging in. Prayer lets us know we are not alone. A power greater than us acts on our behalf and is activated through us, suffusing our hearts, suffusing our hearts and minds with a faith that is life-affirming, loving, and compassionate. When we pray, we acknowledge that we are only part of the equation of life, that a spiritual aspect is always in operation. We engage in humility, knowing that we are a co-creative partnership, or are in a co-creative partnership, and have so much to be grateful for. The kind of prayer that will prosper you and others today is one of deep, abiding gratitude. You become a magnet for miracles when you are grateful and don't ask to be a channel. Oh, sorry, my apologies. And ask. So I'm going to read that again. You become a magnet for miracles when you are grateful and ask to be a channel for divine purpose, divine abundance, love, and compassion. The power of Source is within you. Now is the time to awaken it. So I'm picking up from this pile number 1 that you might not have had, let's say, a religious upbringing, that you didn't know about God, Source, the divine. And these were false beliefs. There's no such thing as God. There's no such thing as Source, as the Great Spirit, Allah, whatever you would like to call the divine. There's no such thing. And I think this is one of the biggest false beliefs that you have discovered. 10 of Pentacles, yes, and I'm putting this all together, that the 10 of Pentacles, that you have abundance within. The kingdom of God lies within you. And the 6 of Pentacles, that there is an equal give and take, but what I'm picking up from the 6 of Pentacles, especially with this tiny little pentacle versus the size of these pentacles, is that you were kind of breadcrumbing yourself. That without the belief in God, you stay small. When you have belief in God, in Source, in the divine, in your own soul, that your soul is actually a spark of God, comes from the Source, from the divine God, this is when you expand with that belief. And so these small beliefs that kept you small, I believe they kept you small, and you were in the past holding on to them. Look at all these pentacles and the star. This is where you discovered that you are a star seed, that you actually came from the stars, that you are grateful for this change in beliefs, this realization, this awakening. Beautiful. Which brings us to the present. And crystals, achievement. This is an achievement to see that you are a star seed. For some of you, a star that you come from. You could, in the past, have gotten for the first time your natal chart read, which gave, and it was so accurate. It was so unbelievable. Like, how can you see that in a chart that these are? And as I read at the very top of this, be careful of your habits, because they become your character. Be careful of your character, for your character becomes your destiny. When I first had my natal chart read, I was blown away at how accurate each placement, and from what I understood, that the aspects between the planets were conversations. And so when the astrologer told me of feelings, thoughts, actions that I had either taken, am taking, or going to take based on what he read in the chart, I was blown away. So with that, I became more in touch with my soul, with my spirit, that I already knew. At the same time, I was like, wow, how can you see that in the chart? This is astrologers, tarot card readers, when they can speak to your soul. Now this was a personal reading, so he was looking at my chart. As a tarot card reader, this is a general read. It would be different if it was a personal read. However, it can still speak to many, 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 tens, hundreds, thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people. Because the message is universal, and we are all connected. We are individuals and yet connected. It's a paradox. It's a beautiful paradox. Let's take a look at the oracle card for your present beliefs, false beliefs that you might be discovering, false beliefs. But this is achievement. I'm picking up that this achievement card is more about you achieving the spirit, the universal spirituality, with it being right next to that card. Let's take a look. Give yourself a pat on the back for all that you've achieved. And in the past, I see a lot of pentacles and I see the stars, so this is all your wish fulfillment on the material level, in the earth realm. And you are really being grateful, but it's the spirit, I believe. Like this might be, in the past, this might have been all pentacles, money, work, might have been your false beliefs, that there's more to it, that it comes from within. Are you discovering the wealth that you have within your own spirit, your own soul? For some of you, the time and energy you've put into your endeavors has paid off. Crystals are formed over time by molecules coming together in repeated patterns. They are a symbol of success, victory, and achievement. The crystal labradorite point depicted in the card is a visual representation of reaching the top, and the shape frequently appears in monuments and landmarks. It's very true. Just as this stone shines in light, you are shining bright in your own way. Release your stress and doubt. You've successfully overcome all the challenges and difficulties you've encountered thus far. This is a reminder that hard work pays off and a triumphant time is here. Stand tall and be proud of what you've accomplished. And when it's being sort of flanked with the spirit of gratitude and universal spirituality, I believe that with all your hard work, you're at let's say a material position to take a step back, to enjoy your successes. This is a wish fulfillment card as well with the star card, but also to look into the stars, as I mentioned with the astrology, to also look into yourself. Where did you come from? Who am I? What's my soul's purpose? Let's find out with the tarot. The Hanged Man. Taking a look at things from a different perspective, that's for sure. The Star again, pile number 1. The Star again. And the 7 of Water, or the 7 of Cups. This is a beautiful card. He's levitating. I don't know if you can see. I almost want to. I'll do it in editing where I can bring it up so you can actually see what he's doing with this sphere. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful picture. Now, this is a very special deck. It's called the Gift of Life Tarot by Alice Smeets, and she went all over the world and took pictures of people. And then she, through her thousands and thousands and thousands of pictures, chose 78, one each to represent each card of the tarot. So let's take a look at the Hanged Man, because this is a very interesting Hanged Man. The Hanged Man. So I'm going to read because she has both gifts and challenges, and because this pick a card today is about false beliefs, I'm going to read both gifts. The gifts of the Hanged Man is surrender, letting go, a new beginning, release, open-mindedness, finding inner peace, initiation, and a new perspective, which is exactly what universal spirituality and the spirit of gratitude talked about. Now, the challenges: making sacrifices, suspension, restriction, regret, getting stuck in old habits, arrogance, resistance, exhaustion, feeling stuck, illness, fear, and resignation, which I feel the 4 of Pentacles really speaks of. The tiny little pentacle with that 6, that sort of breadcrumbing energy of the 6 of Pentacles, and yet the 10 of Pentacles and the Star flanking it is that you worked through those challenges of the Hanged Man to really find your star, which, by the way, we have twice. Now, if it shows up in all 3 tarot decks, wow, pile number 1. You have really found your star. Now, the message for you is you have quite an unusual way of looking at things and are a visionary, again, star card in your own right. It is easy for you to look at things from a different perspective, and therefore you can come up with original ideas and find easy solutions to seemingly difficult problems. You are focused on purifying, cleansing, and deepening yourself and the world around you. This could be your soul's purpose, beautiful, that you have just found, you're presently looking at. You are moving away from the details of a physical world, and we have all these pentacles, which is the material world, and searching for enlightenment and inner wisdom. Do not rush into things, but take the time to contemplate before taking action. You may often feel the need to put aside your own desires to serve a higher course. That's beautiful. That's achievement. That's universal spirituality right there. Let's take a look at the star card. Hope and inspiration. Now, the gifts: humans in nature and harmony, hope, faith, inspiration, self-knowledge, self-confidence, charisma, clear vision, vitality, optimism, love, deep insight and wisdom, wealth, and regeneration. Now, in the past, when we have the 10 of Pentacles, like, look how many pentacles we have. We have 10, 6, and 4. That's 20 pentacles. You have a lot of wealth, and that comes from the wealth within. Again, the kingdom of God lies within. Now, the challenges are fear, doubt, destruction, naivety, fickleness, and resignation. This card's message to you, pile number 1, is your life purpose is all about following divine inspiration and enjoying harmony in the presence of hope and creativity. You are the artist in communication with the muse, and you are deeply connected to your inner source of inspiration. Your gift is one of hope, to look at all that life brings you with optimism, having the ability to think ahead clearly and consciously. You naturally move away from sorrow, stagnation, and blockages to move to your focus towards regeneration, and you have it twice. Beautiful. Seven of Water. This is a beautiful card. I really love this deck, and this is a beautiful card. The gifts are realization of false promises, and we're talking about false beliefs. Yes, choices, making dreams come true, visionary, searching for purpose. And you could have been in the past with all these pentacles, you could have been searching for your star, your spirit, your universal spirituality, your soul's purpose. Energy of strength and victory. Now the challenges to this card are getting lost in illusions, vanity, lack of purpose, fight, dangerous wishful thinking, and gullibility. So along with the Hangman, being gullible, being naive, you could have been naive and gullible to what your program was, how you grew up, what you thought. And what you could have thought was, I have to make money. I have to make my 10 of Pentacles. I'm only going to give out tiny, like I'm going to either breadcrumb, or for some of you, you accepted breadcrumbs. But I don't see with the 10 of Pentacles coming out first, you could be the one doing the breadcrumb and holding on. Do you see how small that pentacle is compared to these big pentacles? You're holding on. And then coming to the realization that abundance comes from within. So you are abundant regardless of what you have in the bank. That's what I see. The message from the Seven of Water to you, pile number one, is you are a visionary. And again, we got that twice with the Star card. So you are a visionary. You can get lost in dreams and fantasy worlds and come back with seemingly unrealistic ideas, but then making them into the 10 of Pentacles. That's what I see, absolutely. But anything that can be imagined can also be created, and you have done so, pile number one, in reality with the right knowledge and skills. Choose which of your ideas would like to bring to life and find the right kind of people to support you in your process. Your strength is the vision. While others are good at the detailed work, work as a team while you continue to learn how to become an even stronger and more grounded visionary. And you are definitely grounded with all these pentacles in the past there. So let's take a look at where this is going to bring you into the future. Pilgrimage. You are on a journey to your own greatness. Your soul is longing to find the way. Only you can choose your path. So you might be on a different path. Absolutely. I see the Five of Swords. Internal conflict. And for a lot of, I'm feeling determination. Knight of Pentacles, to keep that steady movement forward. And the Queen of Pentacles, we have both the Knight and the Queen of Pentacles. And a path change. Planning. Do you see that one looks like the Fool's? You know how he has his little bag of whatever. Bag of tricks is what I kind of refer to it. And then the other one is the Ball and Chain. So this path that you've been on, and it could have been the path of Pentacles, feels like a ball and chain now. But the Queen of Pentacles, she doesn't get the same kind of clout as the Queen of Wands or the Queen of Cups as being intuitive. All the queens are intuitive. The Queen of Swords in particular, when it comes to the mind, she can really feel, like the Queen of Swords to me is a mind reader. She can read the mind. That's why she does so well with contracts and negotiations. The Queen of Pentacles is really a feeling queen. She can feel energies. She can, because she's so grounded to the, let's say the energy of the earth, the frequencies, the magnetic sort of frequency of the earth, being the queen of earth, she's really grounded in reality, in how to make dreams like the Seven of Water down into reality by putting the work into it. And that's where the Knight of Pentacles comes into play. That diligence comes into play, where he is going to keep on very slowly and very methodically, keep on moving forward. He's in a very balanced state. And again, do you see how the Queen of Pentacles, in her mind's eye, she is imagining what path she is going to take? Now, you are on a journey to your own greatness in the future. I see you still being grounded, pile number one, and the beliefs that you might be changing. And again, with this determination, both beside the Knight of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles is a very determined energy, determined to cross that finish line. And the Queen of Pentacles is the one that sets the finish line. We are done when? And it's changing paths and making plans to change those paths based on what it is that you imagine, and it comes from the stars. So your beliefs, the false beliefs that you have sort of seen through, the veil has come down for you, pile number one. You can still be grounded. You can still materialize. But I think that through your spirit of gratitude and the universal spirituality, and again, the pig, your totem animal is diligence, generosity, kindness, determination, devotion, responsibility. Naivety is in there too, which we saw with the Hangman. You could be a little naive, but those are false narratives. Kindness is a superpower. Determination, superpower. Generosity, oh, you'll get taken advantage of, pile number one. No, because you know when to say no. And from the past, you might not have, and now you do. The Queen knows. Sometimes I do have to say, compared to the King, because the King is like the fixed, the Taurus energy, the Queen is the Capricorn, the cardinal energy, and of course the Knight is the Virgo energy, that diligence, that mutable energy. And what I see, and we got Taurus up here with the Six of Pentacles. So what I see, and we have Virgo with the 10 and Capricorn with the 4. So there's a lot of earth, of grounding. And what I see you realizing is that, no, kindness is, people might have told you, oh, being kind and being generous, you're too generous, you're too kind. No, that's a superpower. And people who take advantage of you, as Capricorn knows, Capricorns don't, here's the thing about Capricorns, and this is just from my experience. Capricorns don't chase, they replace. If you take advantage of a Capricorn, if you take advantage of a Taurus or Virgo, they literally will turn their backs and find, knowing that there are millions and billions of people other than you. This is the thing about the earth element, the earth people, that there are signs, if you will. And if you have strong earth in your chart, earth, sun, moon, or rising, or any of the personal planets, Mercury, Venus, or Mars, that they will turn their back on you. They will find another way. They are very independent souls. And what I'm seeing here for you, pile number one, is that what people told you about generosity, about kindness, about your helpfulness, your good nature, that this is what you have found in your soul to be truly you. And that you get to decide who gets your time, your effort, your money, your resources. You decide. And moving forward in the future, you've decided to leave that ball and chain, those people who use you, abuse you, who manipulate you through your kindness. No, you're done with it. And these are the false beliefs that you have seen through and have made the changes. With the star twice, absolutely. And that's what I see for you, pile number one. And I'm sure I'll see you again. Take care from your Forest Fairy. Bye for now. Hey there, pile number two. How are you? It's your Forest Fairy here. Nice to see you again. Well, pile number two, for today's pick a card, we're taking a look at the false beliefs that you, the false beliefs that you have, I want to say discovered? Oh, I can't remember my question. Hold on. I have it written down here. My apologies. The false beliefs, pile number 2, that you have about yourself. What are the false beliefs, pile number 2, that you have about yourself? Let's take a look. The false beliefs, pile number 2, that you have about yourself. We're going to put the intention into each deck with the shuffle. The false beliefs that pile number 2 has about themselves. What are the false beliefs that pile number 2 has about themselves? What are the false beliefs that pile number 2 has about themselves? What are the false beliefs that pile number 2, and I'm going to say had, about themselves in the past, since it's the past oracle? What are the false beliefs that pile number 2 had about themselves in the past? There's the oracle for the past. Let's get to the tarot of the past. What are the false beliefs that pile number 2 had about themselves? What are the false beliefs that pile number 2 had, because this is the past position, about themselves? Let's take a look at the oracle of what false beliefs pile number 2 has about themselves. What false beliefs does pile number 2 have about themselves? What are the false beliefs that pile number 2 has currently about, oh, there's 2, themselves? And finally, the false beliefs pile number 2 might have or develop about themselves, because this is the future, which can always be changed. You can always change your direction, your path. You are destined to be great. That's why you're here. Pile number 2. This is why you are here. And so we want to know what beliefs, pile number 2. Feels like everything is sticking, so it feels as if, let's see if we can get this to all work out. There we go. All right. Perfect. All right, let's take a look. Pile number 2. Let's take a look. Within a week, this week, what's gonna come about this week? That's a very interesting card. Let's take a look at the Cosmic Initiation Trinity. Trinity, I know, is mind, body, soul. So let's read that one. And then I'm curious, these ones are upside down. Horse. Horse is peace. Gregoriousness. Progress. Instinctiveness. Responsiveness. Spirit, freedom. Stamina, vitality, and, of course, recklessness. Let's find out what Trinity, what message for pile number 2 regarding the false beliefs Trinity, right there. Yeah, mind, body, and spirit are brought into line and connected for greater manifestation within reality. This is the energy of regeneration, to move beyond the present into the future. The spirit of action that asks us to, and it's interesting that the spirit of action, and we have the horse here, which is always in forward motion. You don't see a horse running backwards, right? You rarely see a horse looking backwards. And it's very interesting. So, the spirit of action that asks that you extend yourself. You have gone through a rebirth and you have the opportunity to express your new self in new ways. The dynamics of movement call for your juggling several aspects of your life. Mind, body, spirit are brought into line and connected for greater manifestation within reality. So, have the full, and this is just the general overview of your read pile number 2. Have you discovered that you are a master manifester? A tall tale. What tales in the past were you told to stop you from realizing your divinity, your manifestation abilities, your alignment, your death and rebirth, as Trinity talks about? It always reminds me of the Matrix, the word Trinity, the name Trinity. A tall tale. Let's take a look. This is the oracle of the past, kind of giving you the energies of the past. So in the past, you or someone else, I'm kind of picking up someone else. This could be friends, family, co-workers. I'm really feeling family is telling a tall tale right now. You always know if a falsehood is spoken because it doesn't feel grounded. When you lie, you get high on an illusionary sense of power that is doomed to fail at some point. You feel driven by the fear of exposure, but something makes you stick to your story even though you know it has no substance. So have you been lying to yourself? Has the Trinity, mind, body, and soul alignment brought you to admit to yourself that, yes, I believed in what my family told me? I'll give you an example of sort of a twisted Christian narrative, which is we are all born in sin. I have never believed in that, will never believe in that, because God loves us unconditionally. We are bound to make mistakes. For some of us, we're bound to sin. The difference between a mistake and a sin is a mistake you didn't know. You learn from your mistakes. Yep. But then when you make that choice to do something wrong, or to take the easy way, or whatever, that's when it becomes a sin. And even though God has taught and speaks in the Bible about forgiveness, about unconditional love, He sent His own Son for our sins. So that doesn't mean, like, I could never wrap my head around the idea that a tiny little baby is a sinner. They haven't done anything. They eat, sleep, and poop, and that's about it. And they discover, and within the first 3 months, they can see clearly, like close and far. Like, again, I think that's a tall tale, and it's to keep people in fear of God. I don't fear God. I love God as He loves me. So that's just an example of, I think, a sort of a fearful Christian. Like, that does, again, the only person who judges is God, right? So, again, that narrative, it didn't sit well with me, that we were born into sin. As I had my little babies and held them in my arms after they were a safe delivery, I couldn't imagine that, right? Like, it just didn't, this was a gift from God, right, in my mind. So this is, when I see the tall tale, this is what I sort of think of. Whatever lie we are caught up, and this is in the recent past, but this right now, look at all the lies that are being revealed, that are being discovered, that are being, like with all the whistleblowers, that what has really been going on to keep us at a low level. These higher ups, these billionaires, the globalists, they know that we are waking up, and there are billions of us compared to what, 100 of them? Like, when you think about it, there's not a lot of them, and there's a lot of us. And so as we wake up, as we align our mind, body, and soul, as we discover we are infinite souls, and this is just like just a quick 100 years, like our body lasts maybe 100 years. You're lucky if you like see 100. That is such just a flash in the pan, as they say. And so let's live every day rising up, finding the highest frequency that we can. Changing is the frequency of the earth, because the earth is a living planet. Is the frequency of the planet changing? And with that, are we going to rise with it or get left behind? This is where playfulness, having peace of mind, peace in your heart, living with integrity, being kind, being helpful, not expecting, if I give you a hand, I expect you to give me a hand. Well, those are expectations, and who was it that told me expectations are preconceived resentment? And I just thought, wow, yes, indeed. So with this tall tale, in the recent past, did you discover that this whole system is just a lie? Let's find out. Whatever lie we are caught up in isn't as important as the motive for it. Absolutely. Why does anyone lie? Perhaps we don't believe the truth is good enough, or we want to keep doing what we know we shouldn't be doing. Then there is the lie put forth while in denial, such as hiding an addictive action. In this scenario, we may believe our own lies. The tall tale, the white lie, the stretch of the truth, the blatant fabrication are all about, control. Pile number 2. You are seeing that the powers that be are losing control of the population. That we are achieving, seeing, striving for consciousness. And with consciousness, they have no control. That's what pile number 2, the false beliefs that you may have had about yourself is that you don't have control. And you do. The desire for it, the lack of it, the need to maintain it so we can manipulate the outer world and hide our inner one. Ooh, Trinity right there. Today, ask for the truth. Be willing to pay the price and be okay with the vulnerability your lie is exposing in yourself and to others. Transparency is required to get where you need to go, to be truly empowered to reveal the strength of what is true and authentic. Any other path leads to a dead end. Remember the saying, the truth will set you free. So get ready to fly unfettered. Beautiful. 7 of Cups, look at that. Illusion, lies that we tell ourselves. The 10 of Cups. And this is when you tell the truth, you set yourself free, and you live the 10 of Cups. And you're waking up to the difference between the two, between the 7 of Cups and the 10 of Cups. And look at that. We are flanking the 7 of Cups and the 7 of Swords. So you are lying to your heart and your mind. And of course we have that card out, Trinity, heart, mind, and soul right there. Which leads us to the present. Fence and boundaries, and lies do keep you bound. Pile number 2, you are discovering, that the false narratives, the false beliefs that you have about yourself is that you're falling for lies through, let's say, legacy media, corporate media, government lies, propaganda. A lot of the newscasts, and I say it with air quotes, it's just propaganda. And you have bound yourself in, and it could be, I see a white picket fence, it could be that I'm living great, everything is fine, everything's wonderful. what one is this? This is this one. Sign of Times. It's funny. The Signs of the Times. 26. Let's take a look, pile number 2. It's important to establish boundaries in your life and relationships, especially as a form of self-care. And it's right beside Trinity. So while you are going through and seeing the veil, seeing through the veil, taking the veil down of the lies that have been told to you in the past, the lies that you've told yourself, you are waking up with the Judgment card. And you are seeing how scabby government, corporations, big pharma, tech is. And with that, you are putting up boundaries to find your own truth within Trinity. Just as offense clearly defines what is yours and areas where people can and cannot have access, it is time to determine where you should set up fences around your heart, 7 of Cups, and your time. Be clear about what you will and will not allow. People may be asking a lot of you and trying to take advantage, but know they can only do what you allow. Be deliberate, not only in setting your boundaries, but in communicating them. Absolutely. The card can also serve as a reminder to stand up for yourself and a nudge to be firmer with your lines you've already established. You are, in a sense, teaching people how to treat you. This is you right now. And this is after seeing the tales that have been told to you. Even if it feels awkward or uncomfortable now, in the long run, this will have a positive impact on your personal and familial relationships and increase your self-confidence. I agree fully and completely. Judgment again. We have it twice. You are waking up to lies. Pile number 2. And today's pick a card is, what false beliefs do I have about myself? These are false beliefs across the board. Across the board. Pile number 2. 7 of Air. We have the 7 of Swords twice. You are seeing through, and the 8 of Water, and you are emotionally, we've gone from the 7 of Cups to the 8 of Cups. You are emotionally leaving. You are emotionally leaving that which has been lied to, the lies, the falsities, the false beliefs. You might have believed in government. You might have believed in government programs. As an example, here in Canada, we have safe, what is it called? Safe supply. And it's basically the government supplying hard drugs, meth, heroin, to an addicted population. To me, that seems insane. It's on the West Coast. It seems insane. That's like saying, okay, you have a drinking problem. You've been caught DUI several times. Okay. So what we're going to do is instead not getting you off alcohol, but give you more alcohol and teach you how to really drive good while under the influence. Like, that's what it seems to me. No, we're not going to help you with your addiction. We're just going to give you more for free. Like, it's insane to me. That's just an example of what's happening up here in the north. It's just, you can Google it. It's real. We have the Judgment card twice. We have the 7 of Air, or the 7 of Swords, twice. So let's take a look at this tarot. This is a very special tarot deck that I have picked out for this week, and I'm already going through, because this is Thursday, I'm already picking out my combination for next week, and I'm so excited about it. And I will be sad to see this one gone, because this one is the Gift of Life Tarot by Alice Smeets. And Alice Smeets was a woman who went around the world, took photographs of just the common people in all sorts of countries, and then through her thousands and thousands of pictures, picked out 78 to one picture to each represent each of the 78 cards in the tarot. So let's take a look at Judgment and what message Judgment has for you, pile number 2, as you are waking up to the tall tales that have been told to you in the past and currently, because it's gonna get worse before it gets better, I'll tell you. But don't be afraid. Do not be afraid. Let's see, where is Judgment? That's number 20. There it is, redemption. The gifts of this card: awakening, redemption, a wake-up call, change, resolution, liberation, openness, equality of good and evil, enjoying the achievements, unadulterated assessment of one's own deeds, rediscovery of talents, and healing. Now, the real life moment. I chose to portray this card with a street musician in Panama City who uses his trumpet to play and dance to the people passing by to wake them up to the beauty of this very moment, and it's in the present, the current energies. This photo was taken in 2014, so the message from this judgment card is: you are a patient who is learning to become a master at forgiving those around you. Yes. See, this pile number 2, if you were intuitively drawn to pile number 2, you are going to be the people who teach, who live by example, and that is the grounding, the ability to let go, as I know, is to forgive. When you forgive those who are in power, in government, knowing that there is always a boss above them, knowing that they're the gophers, there's more, and it could be the top tier of humans, but then there's even more, right, outside of humanity, trying to control humanity. Just saying that. Call me a conspiracy theorist, but I know there's energies outside of this world infiltrating this world. I wonder about CERN. What is up with that? But that's another read. Your life purpose is to learn how to leave the past behind. Let go of old grudges, failings, and resentments. When you deeply connect with your inner guidance, Trinity system, you will find out that you can trust that everything will turn out well in the end. Absolutely. You have an incredible talent for healing yourself and others and for finding creative solutions to problems. And this is your message, pile number 2, that when you see through the tall tales that have been told to you, that you believed, that you might have told yourself, that you might have integrated, well, I'm just doing what's best for everyone by getting the jab. I'm doing it for everyone. I'm doing my part. And then to find out what? 7 of air. It was all lies. 7 of air. Let's take a look. Because we got the 7 of swords twice. 7 of air. Now this one. The gifts are unmasking of illusion and disguises, which is what Tall Tale talked about. Confessions, truth revealed. Tall Tale talks about that as well. The challenges are treachery, deceit, illusion, immoral, evil, tricks, self-pity, and escape, which the 7 of Cups talks about in the past there. So in the real life moment, I chose to depict this card as a man climbing up a tree to steal electricity in a township of Cape Town, South Africa in 2009. He is tampering with the infrastructure to get electricity without paying for it, illustrating the treachery aspect of this card. But also, and I dare say, especially with utilities and everything, because of inflation of false money that the government's printed to spend on, proxy wars, they then put the cost of their treachery onto the people. So I kind of see this as liberating as well, this particular 7 of Swords, right? Like there's a piece of me that goes, good for you, dude. 8 of Water, and this is a beautiful 8 of Water. She is, she just has this elegance to her of, 8 of her, that's Earth. I gotta get to Water. There she is. Okay. The gifts, transformation, regeneration, which we talked about. Searching for truth, absolutely. Letting go, which the Judgment talked about. Forgiveness, departure, change, yes. Now the challenges are depression, fear of change, grief, instability, neglect, and worries. So don't worry, sweet souls. Don't, anyone who's watching, pile number 2, this is for you, but do not worry. With finding your inner truth, your spirit, and aligning heart, mind, and soul. With finding your soul, finding your soul's purpose, breaking free of the tall tales, of the propaganda, of the narrative, you are walking away. Now, the message, you are a visionary. Pile number 2, you can get lost in dreams and fantasy. Oh, sorry, that's 7. I'm going to have to read 8. You know how to dive deep into unknown territories, pile number 2. You feel a deep need and attraction to constantly leave your comfort zone and leave things behind that do not suit you anymore. That makes you flexible, adaptable, and a natural shapeshifter. Ooh, there's a superpower for you. You are open for whatever life serves you. While many others are stuck in their comfort zones, you show them what it's like to go ahead, break your bubble of comfort, leaving from the brand and to learn from the brand new lessons, the new situations, and what they are teaching you. Which, as she is canoeing away, we are going to moves us right into, ooh, look at that. When you put up your boundaries, when you put up those boundaries, you have confidence. Be bold, rise up, and stand tall. Feel the fire in your soul, which is very much speaks to the horse. The eagle and the horse are kind of the same energy, one in flight and one on land. Let's see. Not doing anything just yet. I think you need more information before. And the shadow, you are definitely seeing your shadow side and the shadow side of the world. High Priestess, listening to your intuition. And the Hangman, taking a look at things from a different perspective. And I'm hearing with this Hangman, you are not feeling hung any longer. You might have felt hung. You might have been believing the tall tales, the inflation talk, the you're going to lose your house, you're going to lose your job, you're going to lose all this. And as this woman only has a canoe and a paddle, that's all she needs, because she has the confidence of her alignment of heart, mind, and soul. Mind, body, soul. The alignment. She's putting up her boundaries. Fine. If you want to try and fence me in, says the 8 of water, I'm walking away. I don't need your fences. I don't need what it is that you tell me I can and cannot do. Because I have confidence in my ability to adapt, as the 8 of water does. Now, the 4 of swords is taking a rest, and a mental rest. There could have been a lot that you have just found out in the recent past and currently, when we have both judgment, because you're still waking up with judgment showing up in the present. You're still seeing and experiencing and revealing the lies, as we see the 7 of swords, both in the past and in the present, and in order too. Judgment and then 7 of swords. Judgment and then 7 of swords. You're still going through this process, but you are emotionally walking away. Well, in her case, floating away. You have to rest your mind, meditate, and get more information with this 4 of swords. The shadow is deep. I mean, it's called deep state for a reason, right? There's shadow. There is a deep, deep, deep shadow. And your intuition, you're listening to your intuition, what feels right, what feels like truth, and finding your own truth. And taking a look at things from a different perspective. This is also forgiveness and surrender. Surrender to what has happened. This has been happening for decades. This has been happening for centuries. And we are just going through it again. The collective is awakening. It's not just you. It's all of us listening to our intuition. It's all of us asking questions and going, wait a second. Not all of us, because some of us are NPCs and we just go along with it. Not in the 100-acre woods here, but elsewhere, yeah, there's a lot of NPCs. Ignore the NPCs. Put up the fences for the NPCs. And really take a look at things from a different perspective. And that is from a powerful and confident perspective moving forward. Because you are uncovering and seeing the lies that have been told. And that's what I see for you. Pile number 2. This was a good one. And I'm sure I'll see you again. Take care from your Forest Fairy. Bye for now. Hey there, pile number 3. How are you? It's your force fair here. Wow, this one's really sticking to my table, so I gotta take a look. Law of attraction. What? Law of attraction was sticking to the table. So, my question to you, and the question for today is, pile number 3, what false beliefs do you have about yourself? Is it that you do not have the ability to attract, to manifest? Are you stuck on that? Because that card was sticking to my table. Let's see if it comes out again. What false beliefs does pile number 3 have about themselves? I see that one right there. And the next deck, what false beliefs does pile number 3 have about themselves? What false beliefs does pile number 3 have about themselves? That was chunky. What false beliefs does pile number 3 have about themselves? Let's take a look at the past with the Oracle. And what false beliefs did pile number 3 have about themselves? What false beliefs? Whoa, I've got to take a look at these. Waking the lion. So you could be waking up in a tender embrace to the infinite love that resides within all of us. That is the spark of God, our soul, which is loving. Each soul is loving. Truly is. In its pure form. Now, you can get, let's say, influenced. You can get, for some, even taken over by dark Wetiko forces. But when your soul returns back to God, it gets purified. So, what false beliefs does pile number 3, or did pile number 3 have in the past? I see that one. Let's take a look at the tarot of the past. What false beliefs did pile number 3 have about themselves? What false beliefs did pile number 3 have about themselves? Which brings us to the present. What false beliefs does pile number 3 have about themselves? What false beliefs does pile number 3 have about themselves? What false beliefs does pile number 3? I'm going to do that again. What false beliefs does pile number 3 have about themselves? There we go. What false beliefs does pile number 3 have about themselves? I see it, I see it. I see this one. And one more. And for the future, we'll get the Oracle deck out for the future. What false beliefs could pile number 3 have about themselves? What false beliefs could pile number 3 have about themselves? In the last tarot deck, pile number 3. What false beliefs could you have about yourself? What false beliefs could pile number 3 have about, and one more, themselves? Let's take a look. Pile number 3. First card out. Worth waiting for. Worth waiting for. And duality. As well as snake. Snake, transformation, concentration, self-awareness, coolness, instinct, preparedness, diplomacy, self-analysis, and sexual intimacy. And when I see the last definition, sexual intimacy, worth waiting for, I could very much be talking about marriage. And so what false beliefs might you have? Let's see if duality is a false belief. Let's just take a look. The overall energy is in fact duality. And let's take a look. Duality. Life requires dualities. This is the process of transformation. Didn't we have first word out on the snake card is transformation. I love it when the cards talk to each other. Transformation. From unity within comes the need for expression. Utilize others as a sounding board for a honing of your ideas. Worth waiting for, absolutely. And efforts may be required. A deeper understanding of opposites opens the doors to options. So that could be a false belief that with duality comes stagnancy, comes opposition, comes challenges and problems. But in fact, this duality card states that a deeper, and when I mean deep, I mean like doing shadow work, deeper understanding of opposites opens the doors to options. You may be called on to work on areas of your life with which you may not be totally familiar or comfortable with. And it's suggesting that you do it. And that could very well be shadow work. Now, you could have the false beliefs that you have is that you don't need to do shadow work. There is no such thing as shadow work. What are you talking about, the shadow self? Let's find out in the past. The power of purpose. Wow. That's a power. That card feels powerful. Let's take a look. Number 18. The power of purpose. Pile number 3. Have you found with shadow work, with doing your shadow work, which was well worth waiting for? It could have to do with sexual intimacy, with and the power of purpose. There's especially with, I guess you could say with both genders, both men and women, the power of no, right? Especially with, I'm just going to say beautiful people. Like a spectrum, and I guess it's what is being put out there. I see beauty within. I am a person that sees the soul, meets people on a soul level, so I see the beauty of their soul. But others only see beauty of the body, of the surface beauty, and so be it. But then you don't have power. I feel there's like power, especially with men. I'm gonna sort of target in on men. The power of saying no. If you're a good-looking guy and you have women throwing themselves at you, you get a greater sense of your own power to control your urges, control your sexual tendencies, to to really control yourself. And when you have others throwing themselves at you because you are a handsome man, I kind of feel that you're giving your power away with every encounter that is, whether it be a one-night stand or whatever. These could be falsities, pile number 3, that you are discovering about yourself. Male or female, does not matter. There's only 2 genders. And as I say that, I realize that the algorithm's going to get me. But I don't care, because it's a fact. I'm kind of a, seeker of truth. And the truth is, as I'm raising 4 sons and 1 daughter, there's only 2. Having said that, I believe one gives their power away when they say yes to everything, yes to everyone. There's something to be said, and there's lots of great creators and channels about masculinity and healthy masculinity and healthy ways of living in a powerful energy of self-realization, of self-transformation, concentration, self-awareness, as the snake depicts. So let's take a look at the power of purpose. There comes a time when you realize that you are destined for something that is yours and yours alone. The catalyst might be an experience with a special person, a pathway you choose, or something you feel called to do. You'll discover it's not necessarily what you thought it would be, and has nothing to do with what everyone else wants or seems to want. An uncanny conviction takes hold from somewhere deep and true. You feel a sense of power arising from a true sense of self, accompanied by a need for action, a commitment to explore something, or a purposeful choice. Right now, you're invited to step into a new empowered sense of authentic purpose, bolstered by a healthy dose of self-esteem. Absolutely. You're called to release your old conditioning. Yes, indeed. There's no need to be self-conscious or act a certain way to please others. And I kind of feel that it's that self-sense of like, I'm so good looking, I'm so attractive, I'm such a handsome man, I'm such a beautiful woman, that all these lovely ladies and men want me. Okay, but is that building your self-conscious, or sorry, your self-esteem, or is it taking away from? Do you feel that if you say no, that someone else won't come around and offer you something? There's power in no. I really feel there's power in no, which can sometimes take you in a direction you don't want to go. The discipline, yes, it does take discipline, and will to evolve are yours by nature. This process doesn't have to be a struggle. You cannot fail if you immerse yourself fully in what is in front of you now. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. You never have to seek your purpose or wonder what it is. Just keep removing the blocks to your essential self, and your purpose will find you. It's that easy. It's that easy. Let's take a look at the tarot of the past. 5 of Swords. This is the win or lose card. And the Knight of Cups. This is the romantic knight. Oh, and all those romantic nights can lead to hurt, where you don't feel, and then confusion. Hurt and confusion based on hitting those wins. Oh, what is it called? I don't even know. I don't know. There's certain, like, I don't know. But this is a win. This is a win card for me. It's to see the one walking away, to kind of check on what would be the winner, the loser. He's got all the swords, but do you notice that he's holding 3? And we've got the 3 of Swords here, and then there's confusion left on the ground, and we've got confusion here with the 2 of Swords. So you could be confused, pile number 3, as to have I found my power of purpose? Do I even have power? And because I sort of honed in on that sexual intimacy, and I see 2 wedding bands, is it time, pile number 3, for you to take a little abstinency, like just take a break from saying yes for, and it's such a brief moment that you feel yes, I've attracted this attractive female or this attractive handsome man, and now they're gone, right? I've romanced, I've had a good one night, and now they're gone. And there could be, in saying no and finding your power and finding your purpose, maybe your purpose is to teach others abstinence and the beauty in it and the power in it, that you are holding your body, cleansing your body, keeping your body to yourself until someone is worthy of sexual intimacy with you. And that brings us to the present energies of... Isn't that interesting? That's an interesting image. The image of the hand is... that's very interesting. Let me take a look. Number 18. Testing. There is power. Again, we're talking power in your palm. What are you passionate about? Have you thought about your purpose? Again, we've got power and purpose in this card, and I would have never guessed with the palm there. Interesting. I love it when the cards talk to each other. This card is calling your attention back to yourself and your destiny. Absolutely. Your destiny. Prepare for fated events and moments that seem out of your control. You may notice an increase of coincidences, and things may align in ways that seem to be impossible. These forces are pushing you towards your destiny. These forces are pushing you towards your destiny. These are your angels, I'm telling you. You are being nudged to follow your soul's calling. If you don't know what that is yet, take some time to think about what you are drawn to and what you enjoy. Meditate and connect with your higher self for further guidance. You may be experiencing not so random connections that lead you to exactly where you are destined to be. This card also indicates heightened intuition and spiritual senses. You could be feeling like you are destined for more, but not quite sure what that might look like. And that's exactly what Power of Purpose talked about. You are exactly where you're supposed to be, pile number 3. And with the relaxing, the comfort within your own self, within your own skin, within your own intuition, and I dare say your integrity, it will come to you. It will reveal itself. You may experience not so random connections that lead you to exactly where you're destined to be. This card also indicates heightened intuition and spiritual senses. You could be feeling like you are destined for more, but not quite sure what that might look like, except that you do not have an explanation for everything, and allow the universe to work its magic and guide you. Fate is stepping in and leading you to your next phase. And this is away from false beliefs about yourself. This is away from that which you might have always thought you were going to head in this direction, and fate is taking you in a different direction. Mother of Air. I love Mother of Air. Daughter of Water. The Page of Cups. And communication. The 8 of Fire. Look at these guys. Oh, I just love this deck so much. So let's take a look at the Alice Smeets deck, the Gift of Life Tarot. Where do I want to start? I'm going to start right in order. The Mother of Air. The Mother of Air is a beautiful card. This is the Queen of Swords. The mother of air, her gifts are sharpness, intelligence, wisdom, imagination, self-confidence, perception, gracefulness, sharp-witted, truth-seeking, and honesty. And that's where you're destined. That's where, if you've been lying to yourself, that's where you're destined to go. Your destiny is in the palm of your hands. Now, the challenges, and this could be where the Five of Swords in the past comes from: manipulation, harshness, inaccessibility, cruelty, and deceit. So, the real life moment of this image, because as if you've never seen this week's pick-a-cards, this particular deck, the Gift of Life Tarot, is by Alice Smeet. She went all around the world for several years and took thousands of pictures, and then she went through every single picture, thousands of her pictures of everyday people, of wherever she was, and she chose 78 images, 78 people from all around the world to depict each card of the tarot. So the Mother of Air, the real life moment, is I chose to depict this card as a portrait of an Indian teacher. And I'm going to say Bihar, or Bihar. It's Bihar. In 2013, she loves her job and goes to work every day with self-confidence to share her wisdom with her students. To me, she represents the intelligence and truth-seeking meaning of the Queen of Swords. You prefer things, and this is the Queen of Swords message to you, pile number 3. You prefer things to be drama-free, and don't hesitate to call anyone, including yourself, out on their nonsense. Everything in life is a learning experience to you. Your soul incarnated on this planet for you to study and understand yourself, society, and the universe as a whole. Constantly questioning yourself, you have found out who you are, and you show up in this world as such. Having a keen understanding of life makes you a talented teacher. Living in line with your beliefs and knowledge, you are adaptable and able to adjust to new information. You are not easily fooled, and know if you can trust someone the minute you meet them. Your clear communication and your sense of humor make you a joy to be around. Your intelligence, and we have a lot of swords in the past position here. Your intelligence, which takes me right to this Mother of Air, you are a joy to be around because of your intellect, because of your cleverness, because of your sense of humor, which is why you're so attractive to the opposite sex. Male or female, does not matter. That Knight of Cups is both male and female. And I don't mean simultaneously. I mean there's only 2 genders. I know, algorithm's gonna just take my my little 25 views down to nothing, and I don't care, because then you will look back years from now and say, Forest Fairies always said there was 2 genders. Yes, from the very beginning, and yes. Daughter of Water. This is the Page of Cups. Let's take a look. Page of Cups, right here. So the gifts of the Page of Cups: this is the dreamer, creative beginnings, inspiration, learning, artistic skills, synchronicity, dreamy imagination, and fulfillment. The challenges of the dreamer is faking, abusing of feelings, selfishness, deviation, and flattery, which again do you notice that the Knight of Cups is over both, so you could be playing both roles, right? I chose to depict this card as a girl having fun walking through the waters of her home village of Ganvi, a village on the water of Benin, that's Benin, Africa, in 2010. The largest lake village in Africa, or known as the Venice of Africa, was created in the 16th and 17th century by the Tofini people, who took to the lake to avoid warriors who were capturing slaves for sale to European traders. To me, this beautiful girl represents inspiration, dreamy imagination, and creative beginnings. Dancing on the water, she looks like a dreamer. She certainly does. And her message to you, pile number 3, about the false beliefs that you might have about yourself, is you are here to fall in love with life. One of your gifts is to see the world through rose-colored glasses, and to believe that love conquers all. It's worth waiting for. It certainly is. You have a simple approach to life, but there's a greater power. And we have mentioned power of purpose and the power of your destiny. Power in simplicity. You have access to an abundance of creative ideas, and your imagination is vast. And that's also the Knight of Cups. He's the creative knight. Your willingness to be vulnerable and your ability to love unconditionally teaches others how to get in touch with their own childlike nature. Do not forget to remember that other people have feelings too, and they need your practical help from time to time. Now, it seems to me that the beliefs that you might have had about yourself, especially with us looking at the snake first, is that you're transforming and becoming vulnerable and becoming open. Your heart has been hurt. You have had this win or lose. Almost, the Five of Swords reminds me of this thing, and I just caught on to it. And I don't know where I picked up on it, but that there, in the younger generation, there's this thing that you rate the opposite gender. So, she's a 6 or he's a 7 or whatever. And it's meant to make the other person feel insecure when, a girl would walk up to a handsome man and say, or a young lady, I should say, especially with what's going on in the world. Children are not involved, but a young lady who says, what would you rate me? And the handsome man says 6 or 7. And she's offended. Well, you asked for it. This is sort of the game of the number system, right? I kind of feel it with this Five of Swords in the past, pile number 3. You've left that. You have transformed it, and you are now becoming vulnerable. You have been hurt yourself. You have, with that hurt, with the Three of Swords, which is what he is now, you could be the one walking away for some of you. You could be the one in the sort of defeated position here. But there's one image of an individual holding 3 swords. Are you holding on to hurt? Are you holding on? Are you reliving over the heartache and the hurt that you experience and the confusion that comes with it? Are you? Are these false beliefs that you have just transformed, let go, forgiven, walked away from, with your logic, with your intuition, with your intellect, with your heart? Let's remember that the Three of Air. The Mother of Air, the Mother of Swords, is Libra energy. Well, yeah, it's the cardinal. It's the Libra. And Libra also knows, she knows the Three of Hearts, Three of Swords, which is also Libra energy. So I'm feeling a lot of Libra, Two of Swords, Libra, Three of Swords, Libra, Mother of Air. There's a lot of Libra. So that's finding balance between your head and your heart. As I talked about both genders, finding balance between your masculine energies and your feminine energies. We all have them in each one of us. We all have the duality. Oh, yes indeed. We all have the duality of the masculine and feminine energies. Take a look at your chart. If you haven't had a chart read by a professional astrologer, I highly recommend it. 8 of Fire. This is communication. And look at these fellas all going to work. Let's take a look at the it's a fast energy. The 8 of Fire. The 8 of Fire is about progress, ideas, things, manifesting quickly. Yes, action, movement, and flow. You are all master manifestors. I have to tell you that, whether you know it or not. And so if you manifest one-nighters, if you manifest no one staying with you, loving you more than just a very quick sort of Tinder experience, then that's what you're manifesting. That's what you're getting. And I think that's what you're realizing with your past, that you are taking your destiny in the palm of your hands. You're taking a look at it from kind of a sense of humor from the Mother of Air. Like, I did this to myself, and I'm going to keep myself from these Tinder experiences. And someone out there, I'm going to manifest them. I'm going to imagine what their soul feels like to be around. I'm going to imagine what it feels like to be in a committed relationship where someone honors and loves me the way I honor and love them, and it's worth waiting for. That's what I'm feeling for you. 8 of Fire. The challenges of the 8 of Fire is carelessness, thoughtlessness, jealousy, and obsession, which is what all these swords in the past talk about. The real life moment. I chose to depict this card as a group of 5 happy and satisfied Haitian men, all sharing a motorbike to reach their destination as soon as they can. The motorbike represents the speed, progress, and movement of the 8 of fire, and the 5 men represent the positivity and manifestation power of this card. And so their message to you, pile number 3, is you are a master manifestor. I just finished saying this. Who is here to become aware that thoughts create reality. And in the past, you have the 5 of Swords, the 3 of Swords, and the 2 of Swords, all very confused about why can I not find love? Why is my love not accepted? Why? Well, it's because you're manifesting it with your thoughts. You are here to experience living in the flow. Flow is the authentic life, not a static. It's not static. My apologies. It's not static. It's a very dynamic way of living, and the more aware and tuned into your own intuition you become, the easier it is to trust the unfolding of your life. Destiny. You are a seeker, here to indulge in continual movement and action. You move towards expansion in perspective, big picture thinking, and making everything bigger in all areas of your life. You are here to do great things, and life is moving you towards that more and more. And that's exactly what the Palm card talked about. Life is moving you to your destiny, and we're going to look into the future. Dance, find your heart's rhythm, step lightly and swing with the melody. Close your eyes and let go, let joy lead the way. The moon, that which you might not see. And again, I'm very much seeing shadow self. And the 8 of Swords, that what you might not see is that you're all up in your head. And this is being brought from the past. The Mother of Air can help you get that all sorted out. And the 2, oh sweet, pile number 3, you just want the 2 of Cups. You want the 2 of Cups. And Justice. Balance. We talked about balance. We talked about duality. We talked about balance between 2 people. Receptivity. And again, Libra. I've got Libra all over this. Absolutely. You could have a Libra moon, sun, rising, or any of the personal planets, Mercury, Venus, or Mars. Just saying. But in the future, what you do not see is that you need to unravel your mind. And I think you're doing it right now, because this is the present or the current energies, and the Mother of Air gets everything in order. The Mother of Air takes a look at things from, again, this is Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius as far as like zodiac signs. But for me, the queens are the cardinal signs. The kings are the fixed, and the knights are the mutables. But this is unraveling that 8 of Swords mind, and to really hone in on not a specific person, not, whoever, Jenny from the block or whatever. No, this is a feeling, a soul. You're going to call in the souls. When you do your soul work, when you balance out the duality within, you are going to call in someone on your frequency. So if you're at a low sort of like, and I'm just going to call it the Tinder frequency of just like, what is it? Hit and miss? I don't even know what it's called. It doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter. You will find balance within, and you will call in. Your destiny might be to call in someone who's worth waiting for. And that's what I see for you. Pile number 3. And I'm sure I'll see you again. Take care from your forest fairy. Bye for now.